Hey everybody, so today I want to share with you the kindergarten homeschool curriculum that I have picked. This is something that took quite a long time, and by no means am I telling you that this is what you have to have or even something that you should have. This is what I've just picked for my 5-year-old. So she will be going into kindergarten. We wanted to do secular homeschooling, so it's been kind of difficult to find those resources, and I just wanted to share what we found and hopefully what will work for us. I've already shared what my preschooler is going to be doing, and she will be listening in on our history and science, so she is going to be doing some of this with us. Also things like PE, music, art, health, things like that. There are certain subjects that I have to teach in Ohio, which is where we're from. So this definitely isn't everything, and things like music and art and PE, those are all things that I will definitely plan out each and every week. I'm just obviously not able to sit down and show you everything for an entire school year with those things. But I did actually get these activity cubes from the Target dollar spot. They are dry erase, and I got these because I want to use them for an activity for PE. Now, this is not my idea. I'm actually going to put a picture up here on the screen. It's a printable, so you can definitely still do this at home. You could print it out, but this woman has some printables, and each side has a different kind of activity that the kids can do, whether it's jumping jacks or somersaults, whatever. I thought that was really, really cool. Just thought it was nice to have like reusable ones. And then I also wanted to stick with a morning circle time. That's something that they did in their preschool, a part of their regular school day that they very much looked forward to. So I did get the Target dollar spot calendar. I'm sure you guys have seen this by now. The calendar itself is $3. This right here is $1. So I got that, and then in the back with the regular school supplies, I did get a little weather thing to go along with that as well. So something they very much enjoyed and I wanted to keep up. Also at morning circle time, I wanted to read at least one story out of here, maybe two. We will see how the girls do. But if you've never read this book, it just has one page per woman, and it describes their lives and what they've contributed. So I know that based off some of the reviews, the book didn't always get it right. I will address that when I get to it, but I didn't learn a whole lot of women's history in school at any point, and I want to change that for my daughters. So this is definitely something that I want to be part of our routine. And then into the curriculum. This is probably the first thing that I really decided on. It was a pretty easy decision because a lot of people had a lot of good things to say. So this is Singapore math, and it's the dimensions math. Now, with this, there is two different sections basically. So there's KA, and for the second half of the year, I will have to get KB if we enjoy this. Obviously, just wanted to start off with KA to make sure that we did like it. And if it seems like we get going and it's working out great, I will go ahead and get KB. But you do need the teacher's guide, workbook, and textbook for each one. So I grabbed these. It was a little hard to put together. I had to get them from a few different sites. But that's just because obviously we're getting closer to it being a typical school year, and they sold out. But they did say they were going to restock in August. So yeah, this does cover Common Core math. That was something that my husband is very passionate about. So this does cover that, and very eager to get into this because Sophie really enjoys math. So I'm very excited to see where this can take her. But this did get a lot of great reviews, and the teacher's guide looks very helpful, and I'm very much looking forward to this. So I just wanted to flip through just a little bit. Some of these do have complete walkthroughs on here on YouTube, but I had no idea what this looked like on the inside. I couldn't find too many. So just a look at the inside of this book. So yes, this is what we're doing for math. And like I said, we will get KB if we enjoy that and do that for the second half. So on to language. This was probably one of the hardest subjects to find secular homeschooling resources for. So right here on top is her handwriting workbook. I got this one because I couldn't decide which one of the handwriting without tears to get her. So if you have a 5-year-old who writes relatively well, if you could recommend whatever one I should get, I would greatly appreciate it. I just could not decide, so I decided to get this just to start off with. It's 1 page per sight word, and she definitely likes learning her sight words right now, so I just felt like this would suffice for now until I could get more research into the handwriting without tears. So this is what I decided on for her reading. This had so many good reviews on YouTube, on Amazon, very much like this. It's obviously a very thick book, so this is going to take us a while, but by the end of it, they're supposed to be reading stuff like this. So I heard so many good things, and reading through it, the instructions for the teacher are very thorough, which makes me feel better. I think this is one of the things I was most apprehensive about when it came to homeschooling. You know, teaching your child to read is a pretty big thing, and I very much appreciate how much they walk the teacher through things. So yes, very much looking forward to this one. And then the language arts book. Wow. This took forever to find, but I'm very excited. So I went with the Argo Brothers Common Core ELA book, and this is probably only going to last us for the first half of the year. It does say it only covers 20 weeks, so we'll see. We'll gauge it. And they don't have a second book, but I'm okay with that because I actually bought this off of Amazon, but it's pretty advanced. It says 5 to 6 year olds, but I would definitely say, closer to 6, 7 in my opinion, because in the back here, if I can find it, they're supposed to be writing all of this. My birthday is, my first food, and then even writing an autobiography. So definitely a bit more advanced. So I'm okay the fact that this only covers 20 weeks, but I am very much looking forward to this. I was very happy to see that it's a secular option. And I wasn't aware that Common Core for English Language Arts was a thing. So very interesting to read up on that. But I think both of these together, I'm very happy with this combination. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but this is something else I want to keep up from their preschool. They would draw pictures and narrate them to the teachers. These primary journals are perfect for that. It's really cute to look back on all the different stories that they come up with. So that is something that will also be part of our day. This is her binder. On the front here, I did have a printed sheet with her full name, first, middle, and last, our entire address, and then also the phone number that we want them to memorize. That is something else that they had to do at preschool. They had to recite that every single day. It helped them memorize those things, and something that if it's just right there on the binder, when we go to do our work, we will recite it then, and it's very easy. And then inside here is a printable that I got off of Pinterest. I liked this one because it had an area to trace and then an area to do freehand. So each day they will trace and do freehand. I just have several sheets stapled together covering our last name for obvious reasons. And then over here, I do have a pencil pouch full of pencils and eraser, glue stick, and then these are actually peelable crayons that I found from Crayola at Target, and I thought that these were pretty cool. So there is some coloring involved with her schoolwork. I wanted to keep craft supplies separate from our school stuff, so she has everything that she needs right in here. And then right here is the start of our curriculum for science. So for science, I went with Tara West on Teachers Pay Teachers, and it came with this little label to put on a composition notebook. So she has a little science journal, but her stuff is amazing. I went with her for several subjects actually, and this is just kind of a look at science here, but I am very much looking forward to it. It is very hands-on, small child friendly. She does kindergarten through 2nd grade, I believe, and I was very, very happy with what we purchased. But I did want to get some books to go along with it because there was obviously some things that I wanted to elaborate on that are just personal to us. So I did get a few books to go along with the Tara West science curriculum. I got this nature anatomy book. If you had to pick just one science book, you don't need a ton or you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think this was around $9 on Amazon. Very inexpensive for what you are getting. It covers so much in this book, weather, land, animals, so much. So it's a very wholesome science book. So I got this one, and then I also wanted to talk a bit more about ecosystems, and this one just had great reviews. And the illustrations in here are so unique and very cool. And Sophie has a little bit of a hard time understanding the concept of area. It's hard for her to understand that we live in a town that is inside of a state that's inside of a country, all those different layers. So I felt like if she had a visual of different ecosystems, she could better understand it. And then I did get an evolution book. And I did already walk through some of this with her. It is very child friendly, very easy to understand and read. Very much recommend it if you're looking for a good evolution book. So I got these 3 things to go along with our Tara West science curriculum. She has little books, she has activities, she has worksheets for them to like work on. As you can see back here, that's what I put in hers. So just little things for them to do. I just have this particular unit, the first one, in here. But yes, that is what we went with for science. And then back behind there is health. And again, with this, it came with another label. And it's basically the same concept through all her different curriculums. It has different picture books, different activities and worksheets, all of that. So just to kind of look here. But that is everything with that. I was trying to look for a health book, something, an anatomy book, anything that was child friendly, and I couldn't really find anything. So if you have a recommendation, something that's not too much for older kids, I would very much appreciate that. Could not find anything I was happy with on Amazon. And lastly, we come to history and social studies, and man, oh man, guys, does it get a little complex. Basically because I made an oopsie. So I went with Tara West again for social studies. Love it. However, it comes in 2 parts. I bought the second part, so I'm having the first part printed right now. And again, it's just like the science and the health, picture books, activities, worksheets. There's a little prep, you know, obviously you do have to set out whatever you're doing for that day, but everything is pretty much completely there. And she has nice little lesson plans for you and everything. If you're looking for something that is pretty all-inclusive, I would definitely recommend her curriculums. And she does do like a whole entire package altogether, but I knew for some things I wanted to go elsewhere. But I do have that being printed off right now. And then I also did get A River of Voices. This is from Blossom and Root. And I wanted this the second I started reading about it. So I got this on sale. That's the reason why it's in a little folder right now. I do plan on 3 hole punching this and putting this in our binders and having a good setup. But I'm actually going to use this to complement the second set of Tara West's curriculum, because her second set follows in line with what you learn with A River of Voices. So I am going to do kind of both of them simultaneously, do a little bit of both. And what I really like about this is that there is different pathways you can choose for this. This is made for kindergarten through middle school, I believe. I can't remember exactly the grades, but basically there's different pathways that you can choose. And if you do have a smaller child, she will just guide you on how to omit certain, you know, more distressing parts of history. And I really enjoy that, because this is something we can have around literally for years that the girls can continue to learn from the older that they get. So very much appreciate her approach and her insight onto how to teach history. Very much agree with it. So that's the reason why I 100% wanted to get this. It also does come with a student notebook as well. So I will, you know, obviously put this in her notebook when we get to it, but this probably won't be until the second half of the year. And like I said, I do have the first set of Tara West things coming. Now, I did get this workbook for geography. I don't really like this. This is a pretty advanced for kindergarten, if you ask me. Maybe it's not for some gifted children, but it is at least for my kindergartner. So we will do this at the end of the year probably, but Tara West, her first set does involve geography, so I'm not going to get anything else. I'll just rely on her curriculum. I also wanted to get an atlas book. I was very happy with this one because it did have real life pictures along with maps. So I wanted them to be able to see real pictures of things along with getting a good view of wherever we're looking at. So it obviously covers a ton of different places with it being an atlas book, but I very much enjoy this one and I definitely recommend it. Now, this is something that I got specifically because I do have to teach state history, and this is a bit more expensive. This was $20. I think it's the most expensive book out of all the ones I bought, but it's 100% worth it. It's a huge book. As you can see, it was bigger than the atlas, and each page is a different state with a ton of information, as you can see. You know, just like little things that the state is known for, and then like really influential people, some key facts, and just other things to know over here. I just really enjoy it. And in the back, yes, it starts with the presidents right here, but there's also state flag. It's just a very well-rounded book, if you ask me. So this is definitely worth the $20. Super, super informational. And then I also did get a couple more just to kind of go along with the second half of the year. When we start really getting into American history, this was something that I wanted for the girls. The second I read the first couple pages, so it obviously goes over the different ways that people have came to America, and then also really thoroughly enjoyed this one as well, because there are a lot of different American citizens here. I also do have to get a couple more spines for the River of Voices, but since we won't be doing that until later, you know, right now I do not need to get that. But all around, very happy with the curriculum, with the books. Everything that I've got for kindergarten makes me feel like we're ready to tackle this. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.